Hello everyone, it is Saturday morning here, and it is so funny. Last night it was way busy, as you saw maybe in the last video. It was packed, people partying everywhere, lots of noise, and this morning you can hear a pin drop. It's about 9 a.m. here, and there is no noise going on around here in this hotel. It is so quiet. The whole town is sleeping. As soon as it was party all night until the daylight came on. It was kind of like vampire movie because as soon as the daylight came on, the music stopped here. It was so funny. Anyways, today we're going to go into town and see what there is to see here in the fair. Maybe do a few more cultural things, and then we'll go from there. Bread at the hotel was very good. They had eggs and sausage, which I thought was very nice. I always like it when there's good protein. I also got some chilaquiles, which I thought was very funny because chilaquiles are considered hangover food in Mexico. Okay, we are outside now, and this is where we were just last night, but it is dead quiet this morning as I leave the hotel here. We're gonna walk on the same streets. Everything's closed down. Most things in Mexico do not open until like 10 o'clock. That's just the way it goes. So we'll see how it is. Maybe get some good shots while it is still quiet in town. At the one hotel, which is behind me, which is right across from the Fiesta Americana, which is just in front of the hotel here. That's my hotel right there, the one hotel. So I'm really close to the fairgrounds. All I have to do is go down this one alleyway into the fairgrounds. Before, when I came in last night, this area had security. They were checking your bags, but now there's no security here, so you can just walk through. Not a problem. It's just interesting walking through here when just yesterday there was so many people here. Couldn't even talk. That's gonna have to be a narration video for sure. We're out of the alleyway here. Last night we went this way and we went towards the bull ring, which right now it looks like they're cleaning up over there. That's what those guys are doing right there. They're cleaning up from last night. They've sprayed this whole area and they're just going right down the alleyway. But we're gonna turn this way, which will get us over to the plaza area, and we'll go check out the plaza area. As you can see here, so many bars and restaurants along this way. But I know if I go this way, I'll reach the plaza, and we'll go check that place out. The building here is called the Palenque building, and this is where, well, right now they're doing concerts, but normally what they do here is cockfighting. That is when they take two roosters, aka chickens. Well, chickens are females, roosters are males, and they take the roosters and they fight them here. But during the fair time, this is mostly used as entertainment. And then over here is the casino. At one time, this fair, the Fair of San Marcos, was the only place in Mexico that you could actually gamble in Mexico. Of course, the laws have changed now, and there's more concessions given by the federal government, but this is the old casino. It's been around since the 1900s. And for a long time, like I said, this was the only legal place that you could gamble here at the Palenque San Marcos. You hear the bells. Must be time to wake up. And right here is my favorite churro stand in the whole world. That one, this little simple churro stand. We're definitely gonna come back here later tonight. This simple churro stand has been here since 1938 and it is the best. I'll show you why later on tonight. And then there is elotes. Are in front of the St. Marcos Church. In Spanish it's called the Templo de San Marcos y Nuestra Virgen Carmen. And so it was built, well, It's got a long story. I should probably start at the beginning. In 1604, when Aguascalientes was being conquered by the Spanish, the tribe that lived here was called the Chichimeca tribe. And in 1604, they were conquered by the Spanish with help from the Tlaxcalan Indians who came from down south. So the Tlaxcalans, Indians, and the Spanish came and they conquered Aguascalientes, and they set, of course, to establish a church. And the first church that they started in the area was in 1604, was called El Templo del Pueblo, because the Tlaxcalans, they used to worship a saint that they called the Virgin of the Pueblecito. So they called it the Templo del Pueblo, and then it changed over to the Templo of San Marcos. And construction began on this church in 1655, but it took them over 100 years to build this church. It was not completed until 1756. And so that is the church that we have in the neighborhood of San Marcos here in Aguascalientes, Mexico, the oldest church here in Aguascalientes, Mexico. Across the street from San Marcos is the Garden of San Marcos, which is here. The Garden of San Marcos is 183 years old, having been first constructed on May 3rd, 1842. It was the 442nd or maybe 443rd anniversary of the city. And today it is a beautiful garden, and it has many statues and many different floral arrangements for Mexico. Aguascalientes is known for its flowers. There are so many flower types. These are all native flowers to the area. And there's an exhibition, I think, today, just because of the fair, for international flowers. But these are the flowers. It's done in a neoclassical style. You can see the fence in the neoclassical French style, which was kind of a thing in the late 1800s, early 1900s for Mexico, was kind of a French influence. And it's a beautiful park to walk through. I hear all the pigeons here this morning. I'm just hoping they don't poop on me. Here we're up to the main grandstand. The main grandstand was built in 1899, so it was also an anniversary. And most of the fountains were built in 1899. And then in the year 2009, they started putting in statues into the park. This is one of the many statues in the park of band directors and other famous notable people here in Aguascalientes. I love how it's decorated right now with the papel picado, which is cut paper, which is very traditional in Mexico during fair time. So very interesting. This area, normally it's saying here, this area is sponsored by the Senior Citizens Club of Aguascalientes. And it's noted when it's not fair days here in the park, you'll often see senior citizens practicing yoga here in this park. It's very popular to do yoga in this park. I remember this park very well when I was a kid. There's a lot of squirrels here, and they do not care, and they will eat right out of your hand. I remember that as a kid. Beautiful park. In this corner we have the Plaza de Toros de San Marcos. This is kind of the amateur bullfighting ring. The main one on the other side of Aguascalientes is the main one, and this is like the smaller one. This is the amateur one. So they're also having different bullfighting contests today as well. Just got a haircut. It cost me $6 for the haircut, and then I went to go get a typical breakfast, which is tacos de canasta, which are tacos made in a basket. This is what they look like. Those only cost me $1.50, so not bad. You can get a haircut for $6 here in Aguascalientes, and tacos for $1.50 if you wanted to, so it's pretty cheap. Okay, we are now at the Isla de San Marcos, the island of San Marcos, and this is more where they have more expositions, and we're gonna check out this part of the fair here and see what there is to see here on the island of San Marcos. There's a gate here, but they're not charging for entrance, so looks like I can go right on through, and we're just gonna go see what there is to see here on this island. It's a garden island, and this is where all the normal fairs are when it's not the Fair of San Marcos, but also it's part of the fair. It's known for the Calavera statue. You can see the giant Calavera up here. We'll go check it out right now. It's beautiful with the fountains there. And over here we have the Catrina. The Catrina is very important to San Marcos because the Catrina, the skeleton that we see on all the shows and stuff, that was born here in Aguascalientes. That's where it's from. So they have a giant Catrina here. I think they were going for a world record with that one at one point. So there's lots of things to see here. They have games, expositions. We're gonna go check out the agricultural exposition and walk along to the gardens. Got a big A here for our students. We're still walking through the garden area here. It's pretty long. Most of the things are closed. We're gonna go to the other side and see if we can find something that's open. Every year at the fair they have a guest state and a guest country. We're here at the Great Clock. It's very nice. Beautiful day here. And the guest state for this fair this year is the state of Sonora. And the guest country for this fair is now going to be Japan. So there you go. Sonora is the state, guest state, and Japan is going to be the guest country for the fair. As we're walking by the giant clock. I'm not sure. I don't think that clock's on the right time, but does anybody care? It's a giant watch. Not sure anybody actually watches it too closely. Looks like we're coming up into the game area of the park. Again, we're really early right now. So it's about 11 o'clock now. So that's still pretty early by Mexican Standard Time. Over there is Carnitas San Pancho. They were saying this is a good place to eat. That's what the taxi cab driver said, so check that out. And we're over now by where we want to be. We are now over by the livestock area, and we're gonna check the livestock area. I don't know if this sound's gonna come out or I'm gonna have to like probably talk over it. But let's go check out the livestock here at the Fair of San Marcos. It's not surprising that the state of Aguascalientes is a big agricultural state, producing lots of milk products, lots of steak, a lot of beef in this area. And so here we are looking at all sorts of animals. Let me turn the camera around. Looks like we're first introduced to chickens here. All sorts of different chickens. Very interesting seeing all the different colored chickens. On some lambs, some sheep here. All sorts of animals here. And then as we get down to this area here, we get to the dairy cows. Aguascalientes is definitely famous for its dairy cows. Looks like they're out getting fed this morning. Looks like they have a baby calf there with a baby. Very cool. I don't think that baby's having it too much. Over here is the auction house. These cows are being auctioned. That one has some interesting spots. They're black and white spots, but then they have gray in the middle. So yeah, if you want to buy any of these cows, they're all for sale. It's basically what they're doing is judging and then buying them. Looks like they're announcing the winners right now. Making the final selection here. And number 77 won. So he's got the winning cow just celebrated by pooping on the stadium. That's what the winning cow thought about this whole thing as they go for their ribbon here. Number 77 is the winner for the dairy cow division. And here comes the champion cow out of the ring here, talking to all the sellers, the auctioneers. Now that it won, I guess that cow's gonna be worth a lot more money now. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Peacock. How's it going? How's it going? Are you gonna say hello? How's it going? What has it got to say? Huh? What's there to say? Are you gonna show me your feathers? Oh, you got long feathers, that's for sure. Apparently the going rate for one of these little chickens is about 500 pesos. It's about $25. Or you can just buy some feathers. You can do that too. It's all good. Over here we have a cage full of parakeets. Lots of parakeets in here. They're all talking to me, huh? They're all talking. Hello. Hello. How's it going, dude? Yeah. Are you gonna come and talk to me? Yeah. Lots of stuff to say, huh? Yeah, lots of stuff, huh? We are now over in the horse stalls, looking at all the horses here for the exposition. Lots of beautiful horses. Hi there. How's it going? It's boring, huh? Just waiting there, huh? Just waiting for the next person to get here. I get it. That horse is bored and wants to go outside. He does not want to be there anymore. I know. It's hard. You want to go somewhere else, huh? I think I hear a rodeo going on. I'm going to go see if I can get into the rodeo and check that out. I don't know what the cost is or anything, but I'm going to go check it out. Here at the big stadium. We're here at the big stadium, and we'll see if they let us in. I don't know what the cost is or anything, but we'll find out. Looks like this is going to be some women rider show, and I had to buy a ticket. Ticket was 110 pesos, which again is about $5.75. So that was for the VIP ticket. I could have gotten a cheaper ticket for $3 for 65 pesos. So, but figured since we're here, we'll just do the VIP. We're a little bit late for this show, about 11 minutes late, but we'll check it out here at the big stadium at the fair. This should be fun. They gave me an armband that I have to wear for the section that I'm in. Check it out. My VIP ticket was really good. It was the second row. These ladies on horses are known as the Escaramuzas, side saddle riders, and they're probably my favorite part of the fair. The first part of the show was where teams coming in full regalia dresses, which by the way were amazingly beautiful. I don't know how they ride horses, side saddle with these dresses, but that's what they did. The competition was split into two parts. The first part was ladies going at full gallop, and they would have to stop at the first line on the circle and then try to get their horse to stop before they crossed the second line without going over. The next part of the competition was an 8-person team doing choreography with music. There was 4 basic moves that everyone had to demonstrate. They were called the circle, the crossover, the fan, but my favorite move was called El Borracho, the drunk move. Basically, they all ran straight into each other, and before crashing, they had to turn around. The winner of this round was the green group, which was from the northern state of Chihuahua. They won most of the competition.
Ahí pasan, se felicitan, se acomodan de frente al público y le damos el aplauso fuerte, pero fuerte, que se lo lleven hasta Jiménez, Chihuahua.
But the purple team from Hidalgo also got an honorable mention for having the best dresses. All the ladies in this competition were amazing in my opinion.
Bueno, vean ustedes bien desfile tan hermoso, donde la esencia de la mujer a caballo por cargada, ahí en su albarda, aparece en la hermosura de vestimentas, la lucidez a estos festejos en esta Feria Nacional de San Marcos. Por eso, ese grito tan famoso que tiene Aguascalientes, ¡viva Aguascalientes!
Awesome, enjoyed that a lot. We are now going to walk outside and we're gonna go see the food expo. So we're now outside. We're gonna go into the food expo tent and see what's over there to see. First thing I see is charro clothing, but there's always something else to see. You too can dress up like a charro. Beautiful dresses. Now I'm looking in here. I've heard that there's a special thing here you can buy that's like a comb thing. I'm gonna see if I can buy that. But we'll see what we can find. Looks like they're selling lots of bread inside here. Lots of samples. Just all the different things you can get here at the food exposition. It's the afternoon, feel a few sprinkles in the air, not too bad, but obviously more things are open and I see the games going on, a lot more people now than this morning. It's been a whirlwind of a day. We've had a great day. We went down and saw some cultural exhibits. We went and saw the garden and the Escaramuzas. But now I think I'm going to go and have another tradition here in Mexico, which is called the siesta. It is about 6 o'clock here. I'm gonna go take a nap for about an hour. And then after I take a nap for an hour, I will go out again. And that way we can party a little bit later. So it'll be fun. Okay, it is 8:30 now and I just woke up from a nap, and normally I'd probably go to bed around this time, to be honest. But I really want these churros. This churro stand has been in operation since 1938. They're filled churros and they are really good. So we're gonna take the walk for them and see what's going on with the nightlife on the second to last day of the fair here in Aguascalientes. I can't really film inside of the casino, but I can let you know that it's all table games. There's no slots in this casino. It's all table games. It's things like roulette and blackjack and Klondike and stuff like that inside the casino. This right here is the stadium where they have the shows at night. This is where they'll have one of the concerts here at night. I made a mistake and said these churros were from 1938, but it turned out these churros were actually from 1930. These are my favorite churros in the whole world. They are filled and you have your choice between caramel, chocolate, or strawberry. I got two, one of caramel and chocolate. The other thing I got that night was esquites, which is corn in a cup. It is a very traditional snack in Aguascalientes. I got a special version of this called tostelotes. Special version called tostelotes, which is when they take a bag of Tostitos and cut it sideways and put corn, butter, cheese, and lemon inside. It is the best way to end the day, in my opinion. These guys twirling upside down are called Voladores. It is an ancient tradition from the state of Veracruz. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.